turn it round. How's the dogs? Hello. Yeah, today I just want to talk about the education system. Academies. I've heard some troubling things this week about the academies. Marley! When I first heard about them, the academies, it was when I was situated in a primary school, working as a parent support advisor. And it was just initially for the high schools, and it sent a shudder through my soul, because I've been down the rabbit holes at this point and seen what their plan was, their ultimate goal, Agenda 21, whatever you want to call it. And so the academies was the Stazi camps of this generation, really. So let me just see, who's that? Hi Arlene, how are you doing? I don't know if you've got a snow, have you? But up there in the Highlands. But yeah, so as I say, I heard about them when I was in the primary schools, and they were selling it to the schools for the idea that they would hold the purse strings of their school. They would give them more control about what they do in their schools. How you, Bandit? How you doing? Sorry about the red drippy nose. Can you feel your toes? I've got two lots of socks on my wellies today, under my wellies. But so yeah, they were selling it to the heads of the schools, of the idea that they could hold their own purse strings and therefore have more control. And as I say, I just thought, oh no. And then you know, it's been proven, right, hasn't it? I mean, the academy villages, you can belong to an academy village. Hi Jace. If you don't get an outstanding Ofsted, you have to be part of the village. You can't be independent. But they didn't tell you that at the time. So, and also the sex education, in bringing that in, academies don't have to abide by. In the school, primary school, when they worked on the primary schools, went back on the primary schools, and just take my Wi-Fi off, I get a better signal. The primary schools sexualising the children, bringing sex education in order to normalise paedophilia. When I said that at a demo 3 or 4 years ago, I got told I was crazy, talking rubbish. Anyway, look at it now. The girls in Wales will tell you. If you want to catch up with those girls, they're really good, doing a good job. Yeah, so the academies, they fine the schools. So they let them have the schools, and then, oh, have you just got rid of man flu? Bless you. They fine the schools if the kids' attendance drops below, I think it's something like 97%, 98%. It's ridiculously high, considering when I worked in attendance, how, you know, how easily it is to drop below that, a bit of illness or whatever. And I know they're not supposed to count illness, but they can keep you off school whenever they want, but you stay off, and people are already getting letters threatened to the court because they've had a couple of days off. Well, my advice to any parent out there with school-age children is write that letter to homeschool your child, because there's a reason that they give parents on benefits the 2-year funding to get them into nurseries at 2 years old. They pull them away from the parents as early as possible to put them into this system that destroys the soul of the child. I'm just
It's not until you fall that you fly. When your dreams come alive, you won't stop.
Go away. Sorry. Michael, I'll speak to you later. Interrupting me flow. Yeah. Omicron. Moronic. It's called moronic. It's not Omicron, it's moronic. But where was I up to? Right, so they fine them horrendously amounts of money. So they invest 25 grand in a attendance officer because it's cheaper than paying the fines, and this is why parents get threatened with court so easily and so quickly. Just keeping an eye, there's some more dogs over there. And so, but the latest, because now what We'll put the measures in place, we'll have the money to do that, right? Bollocks. Right, you put your special needs child in mainstream school, you're asking for trouble. Because tell you what they're doing now, they're pulling the funding for the year 10 and 11 special needs. So now, what are the schools doing? And I've heard this from a good source. Trying to get rid of the kids. How you remember, Rob? Trying to get rid of the kids with special needs in 10 and 11 because they're not getting the funding for them. They only get the funding for the first 3 years. So they damage your child for all them years and then they kick them out, try to get them in special schools. Or they'll probably find a way to permanently exclude them, which means you'll have them at home anyway. Don't send your child to these academies, these Stazi camps, these brain numbing, now jabbing, poisoning your children in the school grounds. They have social workers sitting in desks, hot desking in the school so they can grab the parents whenever they want, gather evidence on them and everything else. Sorry about the nose. Yes, it is flu time. Yeah, that's my ringtone. It's a good job, isn't it? It's a good job in laughing rude. No Crimbo, absolutely, but Boris will have a party like he did last year. I saw what they call her, Swali, Nadia, having a rant about him today. So yeah, bollocks to the lockdowns, which they're planning. I think they're probably planning to close the schools in January anyway. So if you have got school-aged children, honestly, when you think about what they're doing to them, when you think about how they're brainwashing them, damaging the creativity, jabbing them with poisons, setting them against the parents, there's a reason they want them in 2 years old in these settings. Right, if you want to send your child to school, send them at 5, finish them at 10. The travellers have got it right. Because I tell you what, you won't recognise your child. The longer they stay in education, I thought I was missing out when I stopped going to school. I thought, my mum said to me once, just look how well you could have done if you'd stuck in at school. And I said, because I'd done something, I don't know what it was. Got loads of certificates for shit. But would never set foot in a uni. But yeah, so I realise now that was the best thing I could have done for myself, is to step out of that system into finding out my own information and researching and yeah. Yes, share, subscribe, get these numbers up. I know people aren't getting their notifications clearly because Michael would have got one to say that I was online instead of trying to ring me, but I will catch up. I wouldn't either, Aline. I'm not, my kids are obviously, it's my grandkids really. I mean the two little ones aren't there yet, but the older one, his primary school's pretty good and he's a free spirit, let's say. That's why we had to take him out of his primary school when it became an academy. When they started setting out what the rules were going to be, he'd have been on consequences all day long. So I have got a sheet of paper with all the consequences of school, is what they were doing. They weren't teaching them. I mean, even the teacher that had been there forever in a little village school, she loved her job. Well, she used to. She said they've changed the education system. You don't work from bottom up, so you see what your child's capable of and you help them to get to each step at their own pace in, these different ways of learning that we all have. I mean, when you think there's 16 personality types, we all learn in different ways. And when you're trying to shove them down one route, I don't know where Poppy's gone. Oh, there she is. So, warriors, yeah. When they try to tell them they all have to conform to the same rules, it doesn't work, does it? And I just hope that enough of these kids will fight back for their future, will stand up and go, do you know what, this is bollocks, eh? You just try to kill who I am and create a moron, and I'm not having it. And that's what the kids need to be saying. But yeah, I don't think I need to worry about my grandson, and he's doing really well at MMA as well. Little warrior, my little John Connor he is. Call him that, my little John Connor. You can't teach fish to ride bicycles, so you need to teach them something else. That's it. What they can learn, you know, they don't want us to have skills. They're not preparing anybody to be a parent. They're not doing anything through the education system to support family. In fact, they're tearing it apart, but that's all part of the agenda. They are all tentacles of the same fucking evil, whatever you want to call it. It's just evil. It's satanic. It's through the bloodline, and Boris is part of that bloodline. And just, if you want to take any notice of them, fill your boots. Good luck to you. But you know what? Come what may, they will not be marking me with the mark of the beast. They won't be toxifying my DNA with the shit. And I'm not even getting involved in what they do anymore. I'm just getting involved in what we can do. And what we can do is we can step out of these systems and we can do what the hell we think is right for us through our intuition, through our own God centre that we have between our temples. We are responsible for our soul journey. And those that are walking towards the light, well, fuck you. No peace, love and light for you boys. Karma's coming to kick your ass. So yeah, good luck to you, because there's more of us in the end. You'll see. You probably killed off most of the useless idiots. But you know, everybody to their own fate. I know if they're not awake by now, this is why. What's that, my son-in-law? Good. I think more kids are awake now, and there's lots of kids saying I'm not having it, you know. A few people I know, their offspring have had them and vowed they've not have another one, but I think there's certain remedies out there you can take if you have had it, if you want to counteract any. I mean, I saw the thing about the football, you know, there's 188 dropped dead, and over the 20-year period that they've seen, there's 5 or 6, maybe 4 or 5 in a year in all of that time, but there's 100, and people are saying, oh, conspiracy theorists. It's only been since the vaccine came out, you fucking idiots. Oh, there's no point defending it just because you've had it. Do you know what as well, on the news this morning, there's going to be a surge in jobs in Hartlepool. They're spending about £4.5 million on the fucking vaccine factory to make it bigger, to produce more vaccines. So there's going to be jobs available. If you work in there, you're a muppet. You're part of the problem, I tell you. But anyway, back to academies being Stazi camps, right? Look what they did in Nazi Germany. What's different now? The methods, really? They're not even putting them in fucking camps to inject them with shit. They're willingly going and lining up for it. The guy from Pfizer not even had it. Why is that? That should tell you everything you need to know, really. And if your school's jabbing their kids, write that letter and get them out of there. Because if it's not going to give them a heart problem, it's going to stop them having children in the future. If you don't want to be grandparents, then fair enough. But I tell you what, they come near my kids, my grandkids, there'll be trouble. Big trouble. But we all have to take care of it. So I know history repeats. They use the same playbook. Got my little mature grandson. Oh, big love to your grandson. To Bandit's grandson. Just joking. I'm sure it'll be a little fight like his granddad. But yeah, it's terrible times, isn't it? Like you say, can't get a hospital nearer. It's fucking shocking. I mean, they sold the NHS off. They go about privatising it, but Virgin were buying the hospital in Whitby when I worked in Whitby. That's how long they've been selling bits off. It's bullshit. If you believe anything they tell you, you fucking... I feel bad. I feel for you. You know? I mean, I'm not saying I know everything, because nobody knows everything. You just have to know enough to take care of yourself. And I'm glad that people are finding the soul groups and they're not alone in this, because they'd make us believe that we're outnumbered, really, but I don't believe that we are. I don't believe there's that many stupid people on the planet. And I think where they think they're going to get one world order, just going to put the dogs back on, where they think they're going to get one world order, it's going to be our order. We're going to be setting the order. Stay there, stay there, princess. Come here, wait a minute. Get you on because you wiggle. Come here. Look at that little face. Right, Cara, you're next. Come on. She's the old lady. Come on, Cara. You're the old lady, aren't you? Somebody didn't want her, you know. My dog had died. She was 15. Oh, I'm not going to get another dog, you know, but she's lovely. Marley, come here. Marley. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go because so yes, just a little word about schools really, and I think it's a shit show that they're trying to get rid of these kids in years 10 and 11 because they're not getting money from them anymore, and that's all it's about. It's business. If you want to put your child into that corporate hellhole and have them brainwashed and have your family links to, I've worked with so many kids with special needs who've been forced into that education system, and it's damaged them. It's damaged the family relationships because they're getting threatened with court, and it's just a shit show. And I tell you, all you have to do is write a letter, home educate my child. They don't get the money for that child then. Fuck them. Get your kid out of there while you can, while they've still got some sense, or at least some fucking dignity, because I tell you what, I'd destroy everyone. Really, when they can see what they're doing to those kids, it's terrible. Everyone's covering their own back. I'm not going to go into details anyway, but anyway, worked in enough skills. So yeah, peace, love and light, except for those that can go fuck themselves, eh? See you later.